I don't think it was written as a law, even. It's just a given. You could not become a mayor of Toronto if you were Catholic. It was a very anti-Catholic city. Now, basically, Roman Catholics are the biggest religion in Toronto easily. And in fact, on Saturday, they got a new archbishop. Big ceremony. But the point I'm trying to make is I didn't let that stop me from enjoying Coronation Day, which was a big occasion. And it, as it happened, things have changed enormously. Well, when I was a kid, when we first moved to Toronto, which was a much smaller city, it was definitely an anti-Catholic city, a Protestant city. Orange was the term. And you could not become, say, a mayor of Toronto or anything if you were Catholic. My father was the highest ranking person in his company who was a Roman Catholic. And that's how good he was. It was because he was so good that they promoted him anyway. But they said, why do you stay as a Catholic? And you couldn't have the St. Patrick's Day parade. It was always forbidden. So, and now, of course, it's a big thing. Whereas the Protestant equivalent of the Orangemen's Parade, if King William of Orange on his white horse, last I heard, it had him on Orangeman's Day, going along Queen Street and going by Nathan Phillips Square, instead of having all the crowds there to cheer up, people said, what the hell's that guy doing? Because they totally lost.
Mm-hmm.
You recognize what went wrong in Sri Lanka, but you're not in Sri Lanka, you're in Canada. And in Canada, the monarchy has worked out very well. You're a free man with all the same rights as anybody else. And there's no reason why you shouldn't enjoy events like the coronation and things. I mean, like with me, I enjoyed the last one. I didn't know it would be 70 years until the next one. Who knows when the next coronation will be? So what I'm saying is, look into the possibility of enjoying some at the parties and the like, because you might never get another chance. Yeah, when I was about 6 years old, we lived on the other side of the creek here. And there's a Catholic school that's up there, still there. That's interesting, it's a new one. And there's the Islington Public School there, it's a new one also. And I can remember being with my younger brother, who would have been only about 4 at the time. And we were walking along, and along came this group of about 5 guys. And they said, what school do you go to? And I said, that one. And I pointed to the Catholic school, and I got a fist in the face.
Really?
And that's how it was.
So much discrimination.
Well, there was a lot more discrimination in those days.
This is in the 1950s.
In the which?
It's the 1950s.
Early 1950s. The coronation was 1953. We moved here in 1948, so it would have been maybe around 1950.
So you moved from St. Catherine to Toronto?
From St. Catharines we came here, yeah.
Oh, quite a journey. Wow, that's a hell of a different lifestyle in Toronto.
But it all changed.
It's all changed. When did it change?
Yep. So that you had,
I mean, when did you discover
a number of years ago now, the Queen was here, and they had a big state dinner for her. And beside her was the Cardinal, the big wig in the Roman Catholic Church. The Anglican bishop, which is her religion, was at a table out in the audience. Now, the reason for that wasn't that they were against Anglicans or anything. It's simply because they're English, and the English know protocol, and cardinals outrank bishops. It's as simple as that.
But you have to understand that young people don't give a damn about this monarchy.
What's that?
They don't like this monarchy anymore.
You which?
The young people, they don't like the British monarchy.
Well,
The whole world has changed. People don't like this royal, whatever you call it.
I think they thought that in
like
England too,
king,
until the Queen
Charles,
died.
Queen.
When the Queen died, and they saw all the way everybody paid such attention.
I mean, why do you really care about this monarchy and then the king or the coronations and everything? I mean, come on. I do understand you're a different generation, but
Well, you see, here's the thing: if we didn't, have,
even at your age, people I talk to, and they don't give a damn.
if we didn't have the monarchy,
Yeah.
I mean, King Charles is the head of state in Canada. If we didn't have him, who would we have?
Well, I think Canada is an independent country. It's absolutely, completely different. Look at what happened in Barbados. They don't like this monarchy.
But Canada is,
And what's the other one?
Canada is the country that's because of the
No, we
monarchy.
don't. We actually paying this for this lady. What's her name? The governor of general.
But if
Our
Canada,
tax money for no reason. I think we should get rid of this shit. What's the other one? The
Okay,
$20 bill.
you think we should be republic?
Of course, we should be completely independent. We don't give a damn. I mean, the point is, they
And then
went to India.
Who would be the head of state in Canada?
Look, what I'm saying is, we have our own rules and regulation. It's over. And look what happened in India. They went to India, Sri Lanka, all these the countries around the world, and they have stored all the resources.
It works.
They build this Buckingham Palace and everything, and we actually still have to look at them like, oh, monarchy, whatever. Look at this King Charles, Queen. I mean, come on, man, this is enough. That's it, over.
Who would be the head of state in Canada if we didn't have?
I mean, do we really care about the head of state? I don't give a
You
damn.
have to have a head of state, by definition of a country.
Like India do not have it.
Right?
India has nothing to do with.
Every country has a head of state.
No, India do not have anything with nothing to do with United Kingdom.
Maybe not, but they do have a head of state.
They do have head of state in their own. We don't represent Queen.
In the United States, the head of state is president.
We don't represent. I'm a Sri Lankan. We don't represent Queen. We don't have nothing to do.
No, but you would
it's
have
over. It's actually 75
That
years
may
ago.
be, but you'd have some-
why still Canada is actually having it?
But you'd have another head of state.
What I'm saying is we don't have to deal with United Kingdom, the
Well,
Queen.
no, but what I'm saying is, who would be the head of state in Canada? See, like in the U.S.
I don't care, but I don't want to see the Queen's picture.
No, that's important. You gotta care because you're talking about.
I think you really like this royal, the
What you're
British
talking
monarchy.
about is-
That's why you always talk about it.
You see, the thing is, the present system with the crown as the head of state and the governor general and so on, prime minister and prime minister, that has worked extremely well. I think we are a more democratic country than the United States.
Well, U.S. doesn't give a damn about this royal
What's that?
monarchy. U.S. Americans, they don't care. They don't even know Queen exists or King exists, whoever it is.
I don't need to know.
I mean, look what happened in Barbados. They want to get rid of this shit, the monarchy, and then now Jamaicans they want it. Sri Lanka already got rid of them.
I keep asking you the same question. If you got rid of the present system, what would you replace it with?
I mean, we can have our own rules and regulation in our own country, bloody
Well,
country.
what
But
would
the
it
point
be?
is, we have nothing to do with UK.
Okay.
You know what, a Queen. We
So-
don't have anything to do with. That's what we wanted here.
Well, okay, so what would you have instead?
Well, I don't know. I'm not
You
a
have to have
politician.
some- you
I'm not
have
a
to have-
politician. What I don't want to see this bill, which is
You
called
have
the
to-
$20 bill, that I see
you have to have
the
something-
Queen's picture. I think we have so many people actually sacrifice in Canada that we should have those pictures in Canada.
You have to have
Those
some-
people's pictures on the $20 bill.
You have to have something.
I mean, why would you? I mean, why we have to have the King Charles pictures on the $20 bill or $100 bills?
You have to.
I don't understand that. I mean, we have people actually sacrifice for these
But who you have
for
to
this
have.
country.
You're not listening. You have to have something instead. So, who would be the head of state in Canada?
They asked Justin Trudeau. I hear
No.
likes him.
He would not be. He is the first servant or prime minister of the head of state. That's what a prime minister means. The head of state would be, or what is her name? She's a native.
Now I know that, but look at what happened in United States. They don't have. Who is the head of state in U.S.?
Biden.
Okay, that's a president.
Yes.
We know that.
Yes.
We have a president in Sri Lanka too.
Well, they have a
So
whole.
we don't represent Queen
Yeah, but
or the
they-
monarchy.
But they have a whole different.
That's my point.
But they have a whole different system of government, and I might add, no other country in the world copied them.
No, what I like about US, they don't give a damn about this monarchy. You're a Canadian. You are influenced by these shitty whatever monarchy, Charles and Queens, and
No other country.
I don't like this shit. I think we have to get rid of that. This is time to get rid of. I mean, we want to see people's pictures, whoever sacrificed.
I
for
might
Canada.
add, down in the United States,
$20 bill is the Queen's picture. Now we will have a Charles picture.
the last coronation day when
Anyway.
down in the United States, everybody down there was glued to their television to watch the coronation. The British Empire had slavery abolished, and I think it was 1682, was it, I think? Because the Americans, well, gee, they still had it going into the Civil War.
So 1860.
They had it going into the Civil War. That was one of the big reasons for the Civil War, was slavery. They wanted to keep slavery.
They want to keep the slavery.
The Americans did, yes.
Okay, so the
But in 1776, which is when they broke free, Canada was essentially Quebec in those days. It was French. It had been conquered by Wolfe, I forget how many years before. So at any rate, the Americans, when they were breaking off, they wanted to have Quebec go with them. So they sent up a big delegation, including a bishop, I might add, because Quebec was Catholic. They sent this delegation up to get Quebec to go along with them. And Quebec said, no, we're sticking with the crown. And so we chose at that point, that pivotal point, we chose, no, we will not go, we will stay with the crown. And down back they went, I might add. The bishop had a slave with him. But the fact is, ever since then, we have always, whenever a situation has arisen where there'll be a choice like that, we have always chosen freely to remain with the crown. We were never forced to do it. We always chose it. It was the Canadian choice. Canada is what it is now because we always chose to keep the crown.
Okay, so the British demolished the slavery in Canada. That's what you're saying.
What's that?
The British demolished.
The British?
Yeah.
What about them?
I mean, US in the 1850s, they had that slavery, but
They
Canada.
abolished slavery.
Yeah, but here we don't have it, right? In Canada.
Well, it was abolished here.
Abolish here, that's what you said.
That's because it was abolished by the crown.
Okay.
But it wasn't abolished in the United States because they had broken away.
Are they broken away from?
And they kept it, and they found that they had the Civil War over it.
They had the Civil War. Okay.
The wealth of the United States was built on slavery.
I think, yeah, pretty much. It's very obvious. So what about Canada? We didn't have slavery at all?
No, we didn't have slavery.
But we had it in North Scotia. There was a lady,
We had
a
rich.
black woman. She wanted to sit in the front, or I don't know, in the movie theater.
Black
But
woman.
they asked her to just move back.
When? Just recently.
No, it was in the 1800s.
Just recently, I
I
mean.
think in 1900 at the beginning, yeah. Not recently, this is 100 years ago.
Well, you get abuses, you get
So
things.
we have the black woman's picture at the $10 bill.
Well, you'll
But
get-
she fought so hard, just like the lady
I
Rosa Parks.
I wouldn't know about this case. It's an individual.
No, this is absolutely true story. I have the $10 bill. That's her story. We had slavery also in this country.
No, we didn't.
I mean, not like in the US, but it's actually pretty much.
we may
must
have
say,
had
we had it.
We may have had remnants of it down in the Maritimes. But basically, the slaves down in the United States, when they'd be escaping, would come to Canada. That was what the Underground Railway was. They'd be escaping to Canada where they'd be free.
But I'm surprised that you didn't know the story, that in 1900, that lady, the black woman, we have the picture in the $10 bill right now.
Well,
I'm surprised that you don't know that story.
She
She's the Rosa Parker in Canada.
she's the...
I don't know her black woman's name
if she
in
was
the US.
if she was somebody's slave, it was illegal
Yeah.
because you could not be legally a slave. I say they're not the great country that people think they are. They're a good country, there's no question about that. But better than us? No. Why would they be? They're wealthier than us and more powerful than us.
Well, Canada has only 40 million people.
But we're not. I mean, they're not a more free country than we are. We have been more free. We have a greater history of freedom under the monarchy than they've had as a republic.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no reason to want to get rid of the monarchy. It has worked well. It's part of who we are as a country. You want to change this country into something and you don't know what. And there's no reason to.